Good evening, everyone. So today is Tuesday, the 5th of May, and we are all gathering here to do this evening chanting to show our respect and veneration to the Buddha for his kindness and compassion. In the meantime, now on to from tomorrow, Gavin is going to work hard and he will be training hard.
From tomorrow?
Yes, so you have to learn to prepare the breakfast for 4 monks, prepare the tables, clearing.
Before 6 in the morning,
The milkman.
You'll be the milkman, Gav.
And also during the lunchtime. So
You're the butler, Gav.
So this is the real training, and that's the real training. That when in Taiwan there is one very famous temple called Fo Guang San, and this is one of the top and the richest temples in Taiwan, and have got 1,000 of monks. And from outside, people see that, oh, it's so wonderful, and I want to become a monk in this monastery, so I don't have to do anything like that. And then they come up forward to speak with this Master Shengyan. So the Master Shengyan, he just died a couple of years ago, and then he normally say that if you think of luxurious life, expecting luxurious life in the temple, don't come. But if you think that you're going to work hard as like a, I think in English also we use donkey, right?
I wouldn't use that one though. It's got to be a better word than that.
No, he used something like that. This is not joking. This is he openly speak, and he says that if you are ready to work like that, then come. And same in the forest tradition, Ajahn Chah. For 2 years, you have to work hard.
You're going to be eating burnt toast.
No, we'll be at McDonald's every day.
That's why it's 2 years. Ajahn Chah in forest tradition, you're not allowed. You will not be able to become a monk if you haven't trained for 2 years. So familiarizing in the temple for about 6 months, and then wearing a white cloth, observing 8 precepts for 2 years. Testing. And then after that, again, you have to be a novice monk, not a fully ordained monk. You have to be a novice monk for a year, or sometimes many years. And then only then you will be given the full ordination.
Do you not think that's not a bad thing though, Prajan?
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it is a good thing. I think it's maybe better that way.
And that's simply the training to train people to get rid of their ego, get rid of their comforts, and then learn humility, learn humbleness, and grateful, and so on. And then, because oftentimes when people become attracted to monasteries, and they think that, oh, monastic monk's life is very peaceful. You don't have to do, just sit and meditate. Oh, wonderful. So then hustling and bustling and stressful and depression life in a house, and then, oh, monk's life is wonderful. I just better be a monk, and then everything will be clear. And then they come with their ego. They come with their conceit. They come with all sorts of things, and then expect to some form of a luxurious or comfortable life. Then it doesn't. It won't happen like that. So as soon as you become a monk, you are a public property. You're public property. So then you have to welcome, despite you dislike that person. You have to talk to that person despite you dislike that person. And this is how we train. And that's the challenge. It's a big challenge. And you can't say no to someone that you dislike, which is much easier. Like recently in London, one of the ladies came up to me and said that she's been practicing Buddhism from early age, and one day she would like to become a nun because becoming a nun is wonderful. Then I told her, grass on the other side is always green.
Yeah.
But if you jump into this monastic life, only difference is the different problems. There's a monk's problem or nun's problem. And then I told her that if you are household, you can shut the doors for people. You can choose whom to speak. But if you become a monk or a nun, no way, you can't. The moment when you close the door, that means you are not practicing the monastic practices. You're not doing it. It doesn't matter how hard you dislike, there's always smiling, oh, kindness, and inside maybe boiling. Thought of a killing, squashed. But in outside, oh, welcoming, oh, I understand you, and blessings to you, and may you be happy, may you be well.
But do you think it's an interesting thing that, Ajahn, because if you think about the word mediator, that word comes from that. So when you look at mediation, for instance, when there is conflict, you need to have the mediator. So that must be part of the Buddhist.
Oh, Buddhist monks are the greatest mediator ever been.
Yes, that's where it must come from.
And the Buddha was also a great mediator.
Sure.
But before going into the mediator, you got to be strong enough. Mentally, you got to be strong enough, and then making no decisions based on the bias. So that's the Buddha's instruction, no bias there. All in the decisions that you're making on somebody, you're making with kindness, compassion. So that's why another Buddha's Dhamma comes, that's called the four sublime states of the mind. Yeah? Four sublime states of the mind. That there is no bias at all, but you're practicing the four sublime Dhammas. The number one, loving kindness, metta. Number two, compassion, karuna. Number three, sympathetic joy, mudita. And number four, upekkha, equanimity. So these are the four base line that monks have to deal every day. But before able to practice these four sublime dhammas, as a result, there is a strict trainings that to get rid of the ego, conceit. As long as a person has got the conceit and an ego, cannot practice these four sublime dhammas. One has to have a strengthen on a view or a understanding, a right understanding. Only then will be able to practice that. Metta bhavana or this loving kindness, only then we will be able to practice wishing someone to be happy, wishing someone to be well, free from sufferings. And this loving kindness is also projecting in the first precepts of the 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. Not to kill and harm any beings. Only possible to do that because you have this loving kindness. So practicing a loving kindness. And it's very hard. And not only that, you may be verbalizing, okay, but inside the boiling. But another one is compassion. Compassion is another one that we have to develop. So ability to see others suffering and willing to help others. And this is another one, a very hard one. Feeling of a concern when someone or some creatures are unhappy or going through the suffering. And here again, we have to be very careful here. Sometimes you see news, you see somebody's suffering, and you feel that compassion towards those people, and then you may be blaming for another people, another group of people. And with that, who is suffering? You, the one who is suffering.
But you think that's the word projection, Prajna? Is that projection? In a sense, it's a projection, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, yeah. So you're putting putting that person's shoes. So basically, understanding their suffering, empathy, and then here sometimes if we are not clever enough and not wise enough, then we embark on thinking that I am helping but causing more trouble to someone be away. Like there is, say, taking a war somewhere, and then you see, which again news always speak about, this many children died, that many women died, and then buying the sympathy from others, and then hearing that, you become very emotional, and you don't have the right decision to make there, and then you will be causing more other troubles, and that is also inviting troubles to yourself too. So that's why this compassion is so important. Yet in the meantime, we have to have the wisdom that you are not making yourself in trouble. Right? As a monk, sometimes you can't say no to people, those who are talking in front of you again and again and again and again. In those cases, you have to be very careful and saying that, excuse me, I have something to do, so I will come back later. So that's called the compassion. Right? That's called compassionate act. So here compassion, speaking about the compassion here, not only thinking of other people, compassion to yourself too. It's called a self-compassion. Yeah? When you have a self-compassion, then you have a real compassion to other people. So other people can feel it. And that's the problem I'm having at the moment. People, everybody's saying, Achan, you need the rest. Achan, you need the rest. So that's a trouble I'm having as well. So I need to learn to spread compassion to myself as well. And the third one is called mudita, as a sympathetic joy. Now this sympathetic joy is very important and very interesting one. This is actually emotional balance that we can create. Sympathetic joy is basically appreciation and a delight others' success or a good fortune, which normally when we see someone successful or someone get the fortune, then we become jealous, and that jealousy causes quite a lot of trouble. Doesn't matter what that other person get it, or even if that person that you dislike and that person, let's say, promoted for something or got something, and that can cause a lot of jealousy. And this jealousy not only within the other people, it can be within our siblings too. And our siblings can be very troublesome in that suppose you got this much of a money, then now why you can't help me? Or you are this successful and I'm working and you're not. And then you become successful further, then you become a jealous. So this jealousy creates a lot. So emotionally we become imbalanced, and that imbalanced emotion can cause troubles and a destruction as well. So that's why the mudita is something that always keep ourselves in a state of appreciating. Doesn't matter how small other people have attained or gained.
Yeah, but again, just jealousy, not just a feeling inside you, just the same as anger's inside you. So if you can control your anger, you can control jealousy.
Definitely, yes. But here, not only controlling, it's expression of appreciation and a delight on that person's
So for
success.
every negative emotion, there's a good, like for envy, there's mudita. So for anger, there's loving kindness. So
Yeah, all right. So that's why this mudita is something that's very important part as well. And learning from acting in a small acts that somebody has done now, and then appreciating, oh, thank you, so wonderful, like that. So that's the way of developing this mudita. In this mudita or the sympathetic joy, there are a couple of books that the psychologists have written. It's called Emotional Balance Practices, and all that is simply based on that theory. And that's they don't say it from Buddha's perspective, but explaining exactly what the Buddha was telling from that basis, but using a different terminology and psychological terms there. And then the last one is upekha. That's again further even more important one, the equanimity. Keeping your mind in balance in all different turmoil time. Ability to keep mind in balance. And then sometimes you may have a kindness to somebody, and you have a compassion, and you also feel joy, and then you have this sense of wanting to help, wanting to advise in a good way, and so on. And sometimes doesn't matter how hard you try, they don't get it. They don't get it. Doesn't matter how hard you try in a different ways to guide, to improve, but they don't get it. In those cases, rather than punishing that, oh, I am not a good teacher, oh, I'm not a good at teaching or guiding, and also not blaming that person either, how dumb you are, how ignorant you are, like that. So even not saying that, but not thinking, even not thinking that. The moment when you think, that's already negativity, and then you have created the conceit and the ego. Here, we simply take that, oh, he has this much of a merit, so maybe one day he will develop. It says, let the karma take care of itself. Karma of that person take care. So then you have to step back, and then watch. But you have done all the things that is necessary in a different ways. Not straight, not directly saying, but you have tried in different ways to help. And then ability to see that enough is enough. Now I'm not going to do anything. It's up to you. So ability to let it be. And this is sometimes people can't. They struggle and hard and push hard, and there's always saying, complaining, and then even making trouble to that person, thinking that I have a good intention. I have a good intention, and troubling that person, whereas he or she himself is in trouble. So that's why the practice of this upeka is also one of the so important factors or the sublime principles that we have to develop. So here I quote these 4 principles simply because if we are training to be a monk, then these are the 4 sublime mental states that we have to develop as much as possible. So is the instruction that in front, in the back, you're always speaking with a kindness and a compassion, and always express the appreciation on other people, so their success and their gains. And in the meantime, always have this wisdom part, the equanimity, equanimous mind. And only then we really working or walking on the path to the liberation. That's why it's called Ceto Vimuttiya, Asevitaya, Bhavitaya, Bahulikataya, Yanikataya, Vatukataya. And that leads to the liberation. So I think with this reflection, let's do the chanting, since we're talking about the 4 sublime state of the mind. And let's chant the Brahma Vihara